Natalia,
hello, everyone.
Okay.
Sorry, my computer was a bit stuck. I'm Natalia, and I'm going to start showing you a bit of our RISE accounting. And I think you have to allow me to share the screen.
Okay, sure. Okay, should work now.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
I can see it.
Okay, so this is RISE accounting. It's our accounting system, and I'm going to show you a few basic things that our system does. I'm going to give you an overview of our system. And to start off, I would like to show you the first and the initial steps to setting up the system for you to use it. So I'm going to start with importing your chart of accounts. You normally give me your chart of accounts according to the set of accounts that you use. And if you don't have, we use a standard one that we have in the system. So I'm going to show you how we do both, how we're going to import your chart of accounts and how we get from the system. Okay, so to get from the system, I'm going to go into accounting and I just want to show you the ones we have. Import from template. And here's our template. These are the types of accounts that we have for the different types of businesses. Okay, let's say I'm going to select, let's say generic, for example. So this is our set of accounts. As you can see, it's already built in the system. You can always add and remove some accounts, but this is just the whole set. And if I would like to import your chart of accounts from what you gave me, I'm going to open the file. Here's the file of accounts. It normally doesn't come like this. I change it and I make it in this format because this is the format that the system allows. We have the code, we have the description, the parent account, the account type, and the financial category. So from here, we have all our accounts, our income accounts, expense accounts, and then at the bottom, we have our balance sheet accounts. Okay, now I'm going to close this and I'm going to click on import from file and I'm going to select my file. Just have to search for it. Okay, and this is my chart of accounts. Here are my accounts. They look exactly what they look in my file, and I'm going to import. Okay, then I get a notification saying it's done, and I can close this. And this is my list of accounts. Whenever there's yellow, it means it's a parent account. There's sub-accounts underneath it. And yeah, these are my accounts. If, for example, I want to change something, I realize maybe that this is not expenses, how it is there. I will just double click on it and I can come here and choose my account type. And this is cost of sales. And I can save and close. If I want to change the code, I can change it as long as it's unique. The code has to be a unique code. No other account can share a code as another account. Okay, and I will save and close. If I want to create a new account, I'm going to click on this button here and fill in the details. Okay, and that's basically our chart of accounts. Any questions on the chart of accounts? No? Okay. All right, so let me move on to the second part where we look at the bank. So let me close this and I'm gonna go into bank and bank stream. There are two ways that you can use our bank stream. The first way is connecting it to your bank. So we use a third-party provider, which is known worldwide, and all the big companies, Sage, etc., use it, which is called Yodlee, and it helps us link your bank with our system. So basically, your bank is going to be online. All you have to do to get your transactions is click on a button. You would have a refresh button here. You would have to click on the button in order to refresh and bring all your new transactions. But I know some clients don't feel very comfortable in giving you as the accountant the login details to the bank and prefer to send you statements. So we also have the option to import CSV statements into the system. And to do that, I have a statement here that I've created. I'm just trying to open it. Okay, this is our statement. I've put a few transactions here. Okay, and we have 3 columns, 1 row for the header, and the date, the description, and the amount. Okay, now what I have to do, I need to go to the system, and I can select this button over here to open up the bank card. Okay, and then I go to CSV, and here I just have to match the system with my Excel file. So as you can see, it's asking me for a separator and it's a CSV. So in my laptop, it only works with a semicolon. I don't know why, but in other laptops, when it's CSV, it's a comma. So that's why I've selected semicolon, and it asks me if my file has a header and how many rows my header is. Okay, I open my file and I can see it's 1 row, and yes, it has a header. Then I check, okay, date is in column 1, description is in column 2, and the amounts are in column 3. So I go into my system, I go, okay, date column 1, description column 2, money in and out column 3. Okay, and then I'm going to look at the last part, which is quite important, my date format. My date format needs to be exactly what it is in my file. So I can see here it's 2020, August 1. So it means it's year, month, and date. So I'm going to come here, it's year, month, and date. So everything is ready. I can now import my file. I'm going to close this. Not going to save anything, and I'm going to upload. And I'm going to select my file. It tells me the date range. So there's transactions from the 1st of August to the 22nd of August. Now continue. Okay, and then it tells me the upload is complete. So here I have my list of transactions. As you can see, it starts from the first date, and at the top we have the newer dates, if I could say that. Okay, and that's how we would import the transactions into our bank stream. Any questions about the importing? No questions? Okay. All right. So I will now show you how to work with the bank stream. So this is what our bank stream does. For example, let me take the first 2 expenses over here, and their bank charges. All I have to do is come on this line here that says the category and account, double click, and I will say where it's going to go to in my chart of accounts. And this is my bank charges. Okay, and all I have to do now is approve. And that's it. That's how I deal with my expenses. I just put the account and I approve. If, for example, I see that my bank stream has a lot of columns and I don't want that here, I can click here on settings and I will just untick the columns. I don't want to have them there. And I'll click OK. So now my payment method and my note columns have disappeared. I can maybe even try to make this smaller to make more space. Okay. And now, for example, let's say we have this expense here, 2,000, but it was for 2 different accounts in my chart of accounts. I will come here and I'll go to new and I will split. Then I'm going to add a line, add my account. Okay, let's assume this is consulting fees and it is 1,000. And then in my next line, this is accounting fees. Let me see if I have accounting fees, and it's also 1,000. And then I'm going to click OK. So I have split one transaction into 2 accounts, and I can now approve it. Okay. Something else that we can look at is, for example, service fee. Now let's look at the money that's coming into our bank account. Here, for example, let's say a client paid for an invoice that we have issued, and I want to match this payment to the invoice. I'm going to go into new and match. and I will select my invoice and I will match it. And I can approve. Okay. Yeah, that's basically our bank stream in a nutshell. There's much more details that it can do, but I'm just giving you an overview of the most important things. Any questions on the bank stream?
Nataja, just to add on this, because we had a question in the chat. So we are a South African company, and the software, is built on the 1C Enterprise platform, which is a global software development platform. And this actual software, it was developed in the US, and we have, customized it for the South African market. So as you can see, all the requirements in terms of your, linking with your banks. So it works for the 4 major banks of South Africa, as well as the VAT rates, and all of those requirements, they are fulfilled in the system. And we have been working, both with accountants and end users for the past 6 years. And if you have any questions, if you want us to show maybe extra things, you can just always ask. I hope that this answers your question. And yes, so the software is both for the service-orientated companies and for the manufacturing companies. So both modules are available in this system.
One second.
Have we answered your question? Okay. If there are more questions, you can always just stop us or type it in the chat. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now I'm going to use another info base which has more information to show you our financial reports in the system. Okay. So I'm going to start with our financial reports. And I'm going to go into accounting, and actually let me go into reports, and I'm going to show you all the reports that we have available in the system. They're all customizable except for our financial reports. Like when I say customizable, I mean you can add columns for like the citizenship of the customer, for example, and things like that. But I'm going to show you our accounting reports and how they link to each other. So let me start with the trial balance. And I can select this fiscal year. And here I have report options. I can choose my trial balance, and I'm going to run report.
Okay.
So here is my trial balance. I have my debit and credit
All of
columns, all my accounts, and all my amounts. At the bottom, I have my balance sheet accounts, and I can see if it balances here. Okay. Then I have my income statement. Let me get my income statement. I have my report options here. I can choose to see my income statement monthly, quarterly, for the whole year, weeks, etc. Let's say for the whole year. And I will run report. And here I have my income statement, I have my income accounts, I have cost of sales, I have my gross profit, expenses, other income, and my net profit or loss at the bottom. Okay. Now, for example, let's say I'm a bit suspicious on why we only have 7 million. So I'm going to double click on my 7 million and I'm going to go to transactions. I want to see what makes up the 7 million. And here I have the information of my invoices, of my customers, and the amounts. And at the end, they all need to make up 7 million. Okay. Now, let's say I'm a bit suspicious. Okay, why is this 173 coming into the sales account while it should have gone to another account? So I'm going to open my invoice. And this is my invoice. I can see it from here. I can even open my customer from here in these two boxes here. Here I have the information of my customer. I can close this. And now let's say, for example, I want to understand why it went to sales. So I'm going to open my item that I've invoiced, and I'll click on these two boxes to open it. And here I can go to setup and see. Then here I will understand, okay, this is why it went to sales. Okay, if I even want to open my sales account in my chart of accounts, I can open on these two boxes here. All right, so what I try to show you here is simply that you can drill down your reports, and this is done with all reports. So from the income statement, I drilled down to see what makes up the total amount. Then I went into the invoice. Then I went into the customer's card. Then I went into the inventory item. I also went into the account. So from one place, I can go into many places. And I think this is a very good functionality, for example, when you're being audited or just when you're doing your reports. Okay, now I'm going to show you our balance sheet. Here's my balance sheet. And I'm going to run report. I also have options. Let me select total. I don't want to see it every year. Here is my balance sheet for my fiscal year. I have my assets at the top, liabilities, equity, and my total equity and liability here. And you can also drill down your balance sheet. And also to show you how our reports are linked, here we have our bank account. Let me just search for our bank account. Here's our bank account, and this is the amount that we have for bank. Now I'm going to open up our cash flow statement, and I will run report. And as you can see, it is the same as our balance sheet. So our balance sheet and our cash flow statements are linked, same with all other reports. They're all linked to each other. They go from one report to another. Okay? And this is basically our main financial reports. There are more reports in the system that you can look into more detail later, but these are the reports that I wanted to show you. Any questions? Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go and show you a new functionality that we have developed, which is our data recognition. So let me just open it. My Zoom is covering it. I don't know how I'm going to open it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so data recognition, what is this tool? This tool will help you to, instead of capturing all the invoices, mainly supplier invoices, because those are the most annoying invoices to capture, if I can use that word, because the invoices, the tax invoices for your customers, you do it straight from the system. While your supplier invoices, you have to capture them in the system. So this tool will allow you to eliminate all that hard work of capturing manually and the errors and things like that. Maybe instead of a 6, you put an 8 by mistake. So the data recognition tool will help us to eliminate this. And let's get started and see how it works. I'm going to go into my data recognition tool. And here I can see all the invoices I've uploaded. These are the ones for January 2021 that I've uploaded. January 2021, and we have Feb 2021. Okay, so to upload our invoices, we go into add files, and we go select where in our computer it is. Let me choose an invoice here. Let's say it's this one, for example. Okay, that's my invoice. I can select more than one. Let me try to choose one more. Okay, and I will recognize. The uploading process takes about 5 to 6 minutes. So I'm not really going to wait for it to upload. I'm going to use one that I've already uploaded. I'll just refresh, and you can see you get a message saying it's still recognizing, meaning it's still uploading. And the ones that are done look like this. Let's say now I open up this invoice and I want to start sorting it out. I want to start capturing my invoice. So as you can see, this is the invoice, And these are the fields in the invoice. I have my VAT number here, and if I click on it, I can see where in the invoice it went to pick up. Let me make it bigger. I can see here, VAT number. Registration number is over here. I can see where it went to pick up. I see here it says telephone number, but sometimes the tool does that because it's not very clear on where the registration number is in the invoice. And then if in the system your supplier has the VAT number and the registration number and it is correct, then it will bring up the supplier automatically. Now, the reason why I didn't bring up the supplier automatically is because this is a telephone number, not a registration number. So we can remove that. And we can select our supplier, B&G Electrical. Here is our supplier. And then we select the expense account that this invoice is going to. B&G Electrical, let's say it's going to repairs and maintenance. And I'm going to select this account. And then the number of the invoice, if I click on it, I can see where the system went to get this invoice number. And that's the invoice number. And here I can see the amount. It went to get the subtotal. It got the VAT, and it got the total amount. Okay? Now, the system was not able to get the date because the date is in this format, 22 October 2020, instead of the normal 22 October and so on. So we're going to come here and we're going to put 22 October 2020. Okay? Now everything is ready. I can generate my supplier invoice. Here is the supplier invoice. It got generated in the system. If you want to add more information, you can. If you don't want to, you can also leave it. And then I will post and close. That's basically it for our data recognition. If I come here, I can see linked documents. We have a supplier invoice, and the document even gets attached. If I open up, you can see the invoice is attached. It's a tool that we're still improving. With time, we are using the help of other accountants that are using our system to develop this tool to suit them best. Any questions? Okay, if not, I'm going to move on into the next part and the last part of our demo. I think there's a question here. Oh, okay, it says no, okay. And this last part is an integration that we did with Shopify, which is a very big, how can I say, a website to like buy and sell things and things like that. And we have basically integrated our system with this website. I don't know if you can see, but Zoom is blocking for me, so I'm going to try to open it here. This is Shopify. Okay. This is our Shopify, and I have created a few things. This is Shopify, just the normal Shopify. If the clients use Shopify, they will know how to create orders and customers and so on. So I'm going to show you how, when they create these things, what happens in our system. So because we've linked it, let's say I've created a few products. So I created this product. Let me open the list. I created rings, this product, and I've created a few orders for this product. You can see here, these are my orders in Shopify. It says one item, rings. Okay, and I also created a customer, this customer. Okay, so now I'm going to go in the system. I'm going to go into sales and cloud commerce. I haven't synced the system with Shopify yet because I want to show you how, for example, items, we don't have rings here. And the moment we get rings, we will not have match. We will have add new. So I'm going to sync. Okay, so the moment I synced, it brought all the information from Shopify into Rise Accounting. And you can see here, there's a new product. Okay, and I'm going to add, and the quantity is 5 for this product in Shopify at the moment. Let me go into Shopify and show you rings quantity 5. Okay, so I'm going to add this new item. And it brings me here to the tool in our system of inventory items. And if I go to setup, I can see here all my accounts, where it's going to go to. And I can even change my VAT codes. It's standard rated. Okay. And I will save and close. Okay. So now I have a new item created. Then let me go into my customers. Remember the customer that I created, Uzni Lovado. I'm going to add my new customer. Okay, and then it gives me all the information. This is information that I put in Shopify, not in the system. If I want to add, let's say I want to add here an address, I'm going to click and let me think of an address. Let's say Oxford Street. Okay, and I will add new. See. Okay. All right. Just my internet is a bit slow. Let's just wait a bit. Okay. So here is my information that I've uploaded for my customer. And now I will save and close this customer. I've added a new customer in the system. Okay, now I can start dealing with my inventory items, with my level of items, how many quantities I have, and so on. So I will go here into inventory level, and let me search for rings. Rings. Let me just refresh it. Where are my rings? Here are my rings. I can see rings here. Okay, so I can see that I have 3 quantities, and now I'm going to click on it and I will set opening balances. Okay, let me get my rings again. Here are my rings opening balances. So I have 3 rings in the main warehouse, and I have more rings in the store. I have 5 rings in the store. I'm going to also set opening balances. Okay, let me get my rings again. Here are my rings in the store. So these are the rings that I normally sell to my clients. 5, exactly the same as how Shopify is. Okay, now I can start dealing with my orders. Here in my orders, there are 3 types of orders you can have. Let me open Shopify to show you. I've created 3 orders in Shopify: paid and unfulfilled, unpaid and fulfilled. And this one, sorry, it was supposed to be paid and fulfilled. Let me just fulfill them now. Okay, so we have 3 items: paid and fulfilled, unpaid and fulfilled, and paid but unfulfilled. What does unfulfilled mean? It means that we haven't delivered this to the customer yet. So I created these 3 products. I'm going to go in the system. I've changed something now, so I'm just going to sync it because I changed something in Shopify. This one was paid and shipped. Okay, so it updated here as well. So fulfilled is the same thing as shipped, delivered to the customer. Okay, so these 3 products, I'm going to, for example, add this one here, paid and unfulfilled. I created my order, okay, and I'm going to, here's my sales order, I'm going to post and close. And that's it, my order is now gone. I'm going to go here into the approval history. I can see that I have approved this order. It has been paid, so it created a payment receipt. I'll open it here for that order and for the customer that I've selected. The order did not create an invoice because it hasn't been shipped to the customer yet. So it only created the order and the payment. Now I'm going to go into the next one, sorry, orders. And I am going to add new, let's say it's this one. And I'm going to also post and close this sales order. Okay, now if I go to the approval history, you can see here it created a sales order, which we opened a while ago, which is now closed because there's an invoice created. It opened the invoice, it created the invoice, okay? And it created a receipt, which is matched to the invoice. All right, then I'm going to go to the next and last order, which has unpaid but has been shipped, and I'm going to add. Here it created our order, and I'm going to post and close. Now, if I go to the history, you can see this order only created the order, the sales order, and it only created the tax invoice, no receipt. Okay, and yeah, that's Shopify in a nutshell. This is an integration that we did with this website, retail website, Shopify, and we're looking at more retail websites as well. Any questions?
So just to expand on it, so we're also looking to possibly integrate with Take-A-Lot because there are many sellers who use the Take-A-Lot platform, you know, to promote their products. If you maybe have any questions, you can just unmute your microphone. But otherwise, we have basically presented the system and you can ask us any questions. I will just show you quickly from my side a little bit about our company and the 1C Enterprise platform. So if Natasha can stop sharing your screen, thank you. I will share mine. All right, so just a little bit on the software itself. So where we come from and, you know, what it is about. So as I've mentioned, our software is built on the 1C Enterprise platform. And just recently, actually at the end of last year, the 1C Enterprise platform was nominated by the Gartner software advice company, which is one of the most trustworthy software advisories. They've nominated 1C Enterprise as the front runner. And what it means is that, you know, end users as well as partners rate the software according to the customer satisfaction and usability. And then the Gartner software advisory, they take all the scores and then they map all the other basically softwares on this. It's called the Magic Quadrant. So that is quite that's quite a cool achievement. So in terms of the solutions, as I've said, so it's an award-winning 1C Enterprise platform, and we are an official partner in South Africa. And you know the software is represented in 25 countries, and over 5 million users use it daily. And you know we don't just offer the software; we also work closely with our partners and customers to customize the software to basically suit their needs. And that is one of the differences, you know, of ours if we, you know, look at other providers. So this is the platform just in a nutshell. If you look at the bottom level, the database management systems. So it basically shows you that it works for all these DMS systems. And it also has a layer where, you know, software developers and users can make changes. And the solutions, you know, are basically integratable. So if the company grows, they can move on to the next bigger solution. I'm just going to check how much time we've got. Okay, we've got 1 minute left. So apologies for this. I'm just going to put on the slideshow. And in terms of our team, so we work with accountants and small to medium-sized companies, both for products and services. We also work with education providers, and the solutions are basically accounting solutions, as well as ERP solutions, so enterprise class solutions. And also, we work with partners. So we offer 35% commission rate. And if you would like maybe to try it out, we can also supply you with a demo company, so with the info base, so you can also try things out and see how it works. The solutions are fully cloud-based, so you can access it from anywhere, any laptop or computer, it will work. And just to summarize, so the solutions are customizable, and they work for various types of industries, and fully cloud-based, reliable. We have great support, and you can access your data at a click. So thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, you can just ask or type in the chat box.